Hello my friends, and welcome to another Monday with me, Dakion. Specifically, it's Monday the 17th of August, 2015, and I'm kicking off this week's display of finished miniatures with Frostgrave. I've finished these 8, you will see all 8 soon, soldiers for Frostgrave. These are humans, or English from Redbox Games. And as you will note, I painted them, well, all the leather and metal parts are kind of drab, so I painted the rest of them in bright colors. Kind of almost glowing pastel 80s colors just to make them stand out more on the battlefield. The shield devices aren't that exciting, but that is simply because I suck at freehand work. Let's turn them around and show the back sides of them. It's mostly cloaks and the like, but let's be complete here. And this one is kind of fun because she's carrying a lot of pots and pans and bedrolls and stuff. This guy has a jug. And yeah, and again I put these are cobblestone bases with some snow on them. Again, because it's Frostgrave is in a ruined city that has been covered in ice, so it's cold. And that's them. And here we see the collection of the next 5 guys I intend to paint up for Frostgrave. These are the heavily equipped dudes, Knights and Templars in Frostgrave terms. I'm in no real hurry to paint these, but it's gonna get done. Mostly because I'm kind of not sure about the effectiveness, if they're worth the cost in game to have these Knights and Templars and stuff. I might want more stuff along the lines of thieves and rangers and trackers, and so I might need to buy some more minis to represent those. We'll just have to see. Anyway, that's what's cooking for Frostgrave. For Call of Cthulhu, I finished these Night Gaunts, but as I suspected, they're too small to really fit beside my more modern miniatures. This is why I did snow bases for them, because I think I could use them as small demons in Frostgrave, perhaps, or in some other role-playing game or something. But they were easy to paint, and they turned out pretty... oops. What? Nice, very dark, but still legible, I think. I can put it next to another miniature just to show the difference in scale. You might remember this one and think, wait a minute, does it look different? Yeah. See, I started reading more in the actual adventure this thing occurs in. I discovered it's supposed to be blue. It's not, it's some sort of bluish wood, not just wood-colored wood. So I went back and gave it some dry brushing and washes to give it more of a blue tinge. Yeah. Not perfect, but I blame the sculptor. it's not a terribly well detailed model, but it's good enough. And that's all the news completed for Cthulhu. So I'm afraid I haven't gotten too far with these fellows, but at least I put some paint on them. I painted essentially just the face and the eyes on this guy. Not the hair yet, that's just splash damage. I've kind of washed his clothing with some brown just to pick out where everything is and to, make the detail visible. And this guy, I've done a sort of sickly green skin tone. He's some sort of zombie or something. Grayish white hair, and started painting the shirt and tie a little bit. He's not a lot left actually. I just gotta finish the suit, really, and the shoes, which is honestly pretty simple. I just haven't gotten around to it. You know, it's not going to take any major amount of time. I also couldn't help myself, but I've started prepping this. This is not officially a called Cthulhu or Mythos creature. This is a Reaper miniature called a Dark Beast, but you know, it looks pretty Lovecraftian to me. You know, if it walks like one, it talks like one, you can call it one. So, yeah, I'm gonna try to get creative with this. I'm not sure what I'll paint it as, but we'll call it a Cthulhu monster. Completed for Malifaux this week, we have the Blessed of December, which we'll have a little turnaround here. I painted it pretty much the same as in the artwork, a little bit lighter blue in the hair, and you see the tattoos or whatever glyphs on the body are a lighter red color in this image. Doing that on a miniature is really hard. It means filling in these, it is sculpted in, those tattoos, but it's very, very shallow. It would have meant just filling that in with the red and then just very carefully painting around it with a darker color. And because it was so shallow, it was practically impossible. So I did the more normal route. The tattoos are a darker color now instead. And oops, the arm has come off. Huh. I'm gonna have to fix that. Well, that's what you get for doing things live. Anyway, I did these ski markers, only 4 of them, and it's gonna be a while before they do restocks, unfortunately, so they'll have to do for now. So I didn't delete that last embarrassing video because I wanted to show you that you can make mistakes and you can fix them. See, these arms, the reason they could come loose is that they are only attached with the little nubs and indentations that are sculpted into them. With this leg I actually pinned because that's load bearing, it needs to be stronger. But I thought, the arms, they're not going to be that exposed. But what happened was I had this on a temporary holder with sticky tack, and when I pulled it loose I pulled a bit too hard on that arm, and that's what made it come off. The super glue just isn't strong enough to withstand that sort of thing. But I fixed it. I simply, you know, put a dab more of super glue on, put it into place, some accelerant, and then I scraped off some paint that had flaked off around it, covered up the join with some gloss varnish to smooth out the surface, put on a little bit more paint, then the satin varnish, which is my the final look for this model. This is basically satin varnished, and there we go, fixed. It was not a disaster. So next up for Malifaux is this little number, sort of a bat-winged harpy type being. This is known as a shikome. This is the image for it. So it's kind of a Japanese harpy, I suppose. Just the bat wings, except for instead of feathered ones. This is a resurrectionist model that is both a spirit and a beast. I think it's mostly supposed to be used with the Kirai crew, but since it is a beast, again, Marcus can take it. The wings were separate and I attached them. They're kind of a boring angle. They're very, very straight. I would have liked to have them tilted a bit more, maybe. But the thing is, the connection points to the body are so small, and if you want some sort of structural integrity, you're kind of limited in how to position them. So I had to go with this, but we'll live with it. For the bones, I haven't really got that much done. I simply finished everything I started 2 weeks ago. So we have this superheroine that I made in some sort of metallic colors and a nice blue cloak. This girl, I thought this was an innocent civilian at first, but then I realized, I don't know if you can tell, but she's actually pulling a gun out of her purse behind her back. So she's kind of sneaky. Might be a secret agent or something. And here we have this Indiana Jones wannabe with a whip. And a bit more weaponry than Indy would carry. And here we have a more, well, less heavily equipped investigator. You've got the shark. A little sloppy. I didn't bother trying to make the transitions smooth on this one. It's a little bit rough texture added, but you know, it's okay. Then I did the boulette. I'm not sure if it was a good idea to have a similar color here. I sort of followed what the monster manual says, that it's kind of a blue-green and blue-gray scales. Maybe it should have been darker. I don't know. But it's good enough. I'll leave it like this. Now with the bones I started last week, you can see here that I've started all of them. Well, not so much this one, just the base, but everything else has had at least a little bit of paint splashed on it, and some of them, like these two here at the end, these are probably at least 75% done. But since you know, I'm no further along than this, it's going to take a while. Again, I'm back at work. Painting takes time. Yada yada yada. I haven't added any new prospects this week. We'll see how far I get by next Monday. So the force seems to be in balance right now. I can tell you that's not going to last. I thought I'd end this show by showing my new display cabinets. This is actually just a bookshelf with glass doors on it. I just got this from a friend who was moving house and needed to get rid of some old furniture, and I was happy to take it off his hands. And so we can see a shelf of minis up here and another shelf here. It's kind of sparsely populated right now. I haven't put everything in here, but I'm putting the stuff that I can show off. And here at the bottom we have a shelf of books. We have a lot of rule books, and we have some reference works on history and mythology. The reason I put books at the bottom, I wanted something heavy at the bottom, because this bookshelf is kind of shallow and miniatures don't weigh anything really, and the glass doors are really heavy. So when you open both doors, it has a tendency to sort of want to sort of tip over towards the front. But putting heavy stuff like big hardback books at the bottom gives it a little more stability and balance. So that'll be all for this week. Well, maybe I'll have time to do some short reviews this week later on. Who knows? I can't really predict these things anymore. But until the next video I see you in, this is Dakian, signing off.